So this is one of our MDR4 units that just got placed here. Two things that I've already identified that are an issue. One being the unit actually rocks back and forth. It's not stable on the floor. Two, the doors are uneven. So I'm going to show you how to correct both of these issues. So the first of the two issues that we're going to correct is the teetering issue, where it's rocking back and forth. What we're going to do is we're actually going to adjust our locking leg down here on the front right corner. Front right because it's teetering to the front right, and back left. So all you have to do, we're going to place our left hand on the side of the unit. Our right hand is going down to where our leg is, and we're going to unscrew the leg. Now if the leg is too tight to unscrew by hand, get a pair of channel locks and break it loose, and then continue on where I'm at right now, because mine's loose. I can actually undo it. What we're going to do is we're going to gently rock the unit back and forth using our left hand as we unscrew with our right hand until it no longer moves. We can't unscrew it any further. Sure enough, our unit is stable on the floor now. To correct the door alignment, we're going to use a 6mm Allen wrench. We're going to open our custom flex drawer, and we're going to get access to the Allen key down here on the bottom. Now this Allen key, since I'm wanting to go up on this right hand door, I'm going to be turning clockwise. Clockwise for up, counterclockwise to bring it back down. Anytime I make an adjustment down here, before I get too carried away, you always want to open your doors after the adjustment. Allow the doors to basically settle back into place, and then close the doors back and check your level. If you adjust them and you just walk away, one of them could shift afterwards, and the customer's going to call you right back to the home. So we're going to dig into this thing a little bit today. First step to pulling apart one of these units, we got to get the shelf out. This shelf is blocking us from getting back there, and it's connected right here to the side of our ice maker box. So we're going to take these shelves out so that we can pull some stuff apart, and y'all can see how everything comes apart in here. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do to get this shelf out, we're going to lift these covers that are actually hiding both of our screws. These two Phillips head screws secure that shelf to the side of the ice maker box. That's one out. So I'm firmly grabbing this shelf and lifting straight up and off. And then we're going to take this one, it's got the hooks in the back, so we're going to lift it upwards and pull it out. Alright, so we're going to get this out of our way. We're going to pull it till it stops, lift up, and then pull it all the way out. Pull it till it stops, lift up, pull it all the way out. Before we pull this one out, we're going to want to remove the air filters on both sides so that they don't end up on our consumer's floor. If you just lift in the back here, that's one. And two. This one's got locking tabs back here in the back. So to take this one out, we're actually going to lift up, and you're going to feel it release. Lift gently up and take the whole thing out. So these snack zone drawers don't need to come out to remove the rear wall, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to take these out. If you slide it back, it's going to hit. We're going to lift that up. The whole piece should slide up and off. Alright, so we've got to pop these little covers off to access our Phillips head screws in this back wall. Alright, so we need to remove our pure air filter. From up here, you're going to squeeze top and bottom, pinch it, pop it off. We got 3 screws to take this rear panel off. One's located up here, then one down there, and one over here. Phillips head screwdriver. Alright, so this is a wiring harness cover. We're going to take our wiring harness cover off so we can access the wires that we need to disconnect behind this evaporator cover. That is just a Phillips head screw, and then I'm using a flathead screwdriver to pry these tabs off. Take that down. So there is a secret, once you get all the screws out, to pulling this rear cover without damaging it. We want to actually pull from the center. Think of the where the air filter goes as our center point. We're going to actually pull the styrofoam, get our fingers around the styrofoam right there. It's solid styrofoam, and pull the entire piece out. Reason we're doing it this way, we don't want to damage this thin foam material and ruin our ducts and have to replace this whole piece. Alright, now that we've got our rear cover removed, we have access to our evaporator, and we can now start pulling apart our sealing components, which is going to give us access to the water valve and the water reservoir. So to get access to these components up here, we're going to start by pulling our cover off of our water filter assembly. It's just a quick pull forwards. Then we're going after these 2 Phillips head screws. Once we get that cover out of the way, now we have our access to the, this is our reservoir. This unit does have a reservoir. Our water valve, water filter, filter head, and these tubes, 2 of them actually go up into the ceiling. That's going to be our ice maker and our dispenser. Alright, so the first part of getting to the ice maker assembly, we're going to get the bucket out of our way, set it off to the side. And we're going to grab this Phillips head screwdriver that I always have in my back pocket, and we're going to take out this Phillips head screw. This is going to allow us to remove the cover here for the wire harnesses that are located right here at the front of our ice maker assembly. Alright, so to get this ice maker out, there's 3 harnesses right here in the front that we're going to have to disconnect. This one that you can see, and then there's 2 more up here in the ceiling. I don't know how visible those are going to be. But we've got to disconnect each of these. They're just press tabs. Press in, pull away, pull your harness out. That would be 2 and 3. Now what I do is we're going to pull this over to the side. This actually runs in a channel on the side of the ice maker. We're going to pull that forward and get that whole puppy out. That's the channel that it actually runs in. So to get the housing out, we've got to take this 5/16 screw out of the left-hand side. That is the only thing that holds that housing in place. You're going to need something narrow to fit in here. Luckily, I always have a socket wrench in my back pocket with a 5/16 driver on it. There's our 5/16 screw. Now we're going to grab the right-hand side and the bottom. We're going to pull downwards and forwards. Watch our harness. There we go. Alright, so now I'm going to remove the drive bar off of my auger assembly. The trick to these is we're actually going to use an adjustable wrench. We're going to rotate counterclockwise and then pull back clockwise, and that loosens it. Then we can take it the rest of the way off. Alright, we've gotten ourselves all the way down to our auger housing. To take out the auger housing, we've got 4 screws, all at the 4 corners of the box, all 5/16. One. 2. I'm applying a little bit of pressure here just so this thing doesn't fall off. And that would be 4. Alright, so now that I've got my 4 screws out, we're going to pull this thing forward and disconnect the wire harness back here. There's actually a wire harness for the heating assembly, and we also have a thermistor. There's our wiring harness. You got to be able to blindly find these 2 connections to take this thing out. That hooks right onto our line, and that actually connects right into here. These are just 2-wire connector. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to take our user interface off of here so that we can get access to our dispenser area. This is one area that I'm certain a lot of techs are concerned about whenever it involves prying against the door skin itself. I like to use a cloth just to ensure that I don't scar or scratch anything. We always go in on this left-hand side. I'm just going to pry out. Once we get it broken loose down here on the bottom, we should be able to. Oh, there we go. We got her out. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do, since we're already prying things off, we're going to go after our dispenser paddle here. The only way to be able to get inside of here is we're going to pry in on this left-hand side. I like to use protection here as well, just so we don't scar up the plastic. We're going to aim for the bottom part of the door and just kind of pull that away. There we go, and then it comes down and off. Make certain you do not lose your spring. But as you can see, that right there is our micro switch. So now if we were to try to get our motor or our dispenser module, this is all one piece inside of here. If we were to try to pull that out, we would have problems right now because we've got a water line running right down the center of it. This is actually a cover for the water line. The water line runs inside of this, but we've got to get the water line out of the way so that we can actually remove this so we can pull our dispenser module out. We're going to start by taking our tabletop off. I've already undone There's 5 screws across the top here, 5 Phillips head screws. I've already undone all 5 of those screws so that I can lift it off, so y'all don't have to sit here and watch me do 5 Phillips head screws. And then we are going to take our water line and we are just going to pull it out of the door. Which is going to allow us to take this out of the way, and we can attack these 2 Phillips head screws that are holding our dispenser module in place. Alright, now that we've got our water line out of the way, let's get our LED out of the way. We just push that in from the top down, and then we fish it back up sideways. We've got our screws out here. That is our dispenser module assembly. Should come all as one piece.